rib shot, throw it up somewhere. Yeah, no, that's a Mike's. Yeah, that's a Mike. Yeah,
Did you see Mike's light that he bought? That one time? It's like a, it's called a Keeper, newer, NEWER. And it's like a big piano light. You got one of those.
Is that you?
Yeah. It's still clean on them? Clean head and shoulders?
Yeah, it's about to go behind that sign, that building here in a minute.
Well,
But
you
this
know,
helps, yeah.
it's just trying to keep head and shoulders clean.
Yeah, as long as the background stays pretty dark there too.
Well, that's why I turned down the light a little bit, because it was glowing out the back.
You turn down the what?
Turned down the light a little bit.
Turn down the what?
It's 5400K light. So pink coverage nowadays. Oh, right. Pink coverage. Oh, you know. Catherine Dixon is the station. She's the one that married Rich Rick. Yes. She's dead. Died this week. Didn't say. There's Glenn sent that. Well, he's older.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Which one?
That's what y'all set up. Y'all set up for us. Right here. There you go. Okay. Got you. Here, make sure everybody gets one man. That you can. That just lets everybody. With Dominique.
I do have some comments if you have any time.
No, I got time.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. What I'm gonna do? Dominique gonna come after me.
Okay.
And you gonna speak.
Okay.
Okay. Alicia's running late. Okay. Just so you know.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to open up. Then Dominique is coming. Okay. Pick a camera out. That's some more. Though just to count. If Dominique. Okay, you got one for? Okay. Okay. Let me get it started. Okay. Good morning to everyone. Thank you for coming out. And we're here because, as you know, of the killing of Anthony Johnson Jr. The news headlines back on April 21st, 2024, it claimed that 31-year-old Anthony Johnson Jr., a Marine veteran who had been diagnosed with schizophrenia, died after he was pepper sprayed during an altercation with jailers in Tarrant County. Sheriff Bill Wayborn, he claimed was a routine contraband check. But at that time, the straight skinny was that it was a pepper spray. Back then, Mr. Johnson's family knew something wasn't quite right with the initial response from the Tarrant County Sheriff's Department, and now their worst fears have been realized with the partial release of the video of Mr. Johnson's homicide. Our community mourns with the family of Mr. Anthony Ray Johnson Jr. We too have seen the video of the brutal and appalling treatment of Mr. Johnson by Tarrant County jail personnel. The depraved indifference that we witnessed in that video is unconscionable, egregious, and criminal. The camera angle showed the back of Officer Marino as he held his knee on the back of Mr. Johnson. The whole time, we knew that his knee was pushing the breath out of a man's lungs. We knew that Mr. Johnson was dying. The fact that no one intervened to place Mr. Johnson into a position of recovery is reprehensible. We've seen this before, this callous disregard for the life of a human being too many times. And people, other officers are right there, obviously seeing that Mr. Johnson was no threat. They were able to say a word, able to stop it, but choosing instead to stay silent in the face of this killing. They did nothing to save his life. This is the culture at work in the Tarrant County Jail, the culture of depraved indifference, and it starts at the top with Sheriff Wayborn. In the interest of justice, the detention officers directly and indirectly involved in Mr. Johnson's death must be held accountable. Both Officer Rafael Marino and his supervisor Joe Garcia must be prosecuted. And once charged, we demand that a District Attorney Phil Soros prosecute the perpetrators of this heinous crime to the fullest extent of the law. We have not forgotten that District Attorney Soros, without any explanation, dropped all charges against the detention officers who savagely beat Corey Rodriguez in the Tarrant County Jail. We haven't forgotten that. At the same time, Mr. Johnson's homicide must be seen in the larger context of the senseless deaths that have taken place in the Tarrant County Jail since Sheriff Bill Wayborn took office in 2017. The Tarrant County Jail has become a killing field. And the number of deaths is grossly disproportionate compared to other jails across the country. It is also evident that the problems at the Tarrant County Jail do not end with the officers involved with Mr. Johnson's death alone. There has been an inexcusable parade of uncalled for in custody deaths, one after another. And the problem is systemic, and therefore cannot be pinned on individual jail staff alone. They were too comfortable while they were watching the breath flow out of or be forced out of Mr. Johnson's body. The office of sheriff is also culpable and must be held accountable, and we demand the resignation of Sheriff Wayborn. Dominic Alexander of the Next Generation Action Network is coming, and then he will be followed by Pam Young of United Fort Worth.
Hello, I'm Minister Dominic Alexander, President of the Next Generation Action Network, and we stand in solidarity with this rainbow coalition of justice that's behind us. I acknowledge the leadership of Pastor Bell, thank him for his continued leadership in the Fort Worth community for so many decades. Also, I want to highlight the work of United Fort Worth and several other community organizations who are assembled behind me today. I come here today because I am sick and tired of families after families calling me because of the death of someone in the Tarrant County jail. We are tired of putting hashtags before someone's name. We're tired of posting someone's children. We're tired of coming in the midnight hour asking families to trust us to demand justice, to make sure that justice is served for their beloved one. We're tired of comforting. We're tired of burying people. We're tired of having to organize funeral funds because people cannot look at the humanity of everyone, no matter the color of their skin. We're tired. We're sick and tired of Sheriff Wayburn being the Texas Trump puppeteer, but cannot do the job that Tarrant County elected him to do. And that's to make sure that this Tarrant County Sheriff Department is ran with humanity, is ran with transparency and accountability. But what Tarrant County Sheriff Wayburn has done is made it very hard for the Tarrant County taxpayers to know what is going on in the county jail. He has made it very hard for people to know what is going on. We demand the full release of that video. The public, the taxpayers, we send this all the way to the Tarrant County judge, that you have a responsibility to make sure that everybody, every taxpayer know what is going on in a taxpayer public funded facility. And I say to it is, if the district attorney cannot do his job, we call on our federal partners to do the job for him. To investigate. We already know that the community has already filed a DOJ complaint. They have already did their proper due diligence to make sure that this doesn't happen again. But we need all partners, everybody who can do something about this, to do something now. If the Tarrant County judge cannot run this county the way that everybody, what you see behind me, all of the race, colors, and creeds coming together before you today, is what the epitome of a community being fed up, sick and tired of being sick and tired. And as a person who has been doing this probably for about more than 10 years, I am literally excited to see a community coming together saying enough is enough. Coming together, speaking for people who cannot speak for themselves. Speaking for the young man that was beaten in Tarrant County Jail just last night. Speaking for the person who cannot bail out because they are poor. Speaking, making sure that we dismantle this criminal justice system that is after poverty-stricken people and not after justice. This district attorney has shown us time after time where his priorities lie. This sheriff has shown us time after time where his priorities lie. And at the end of the day, we are asking the Department of Justice to step in, to investigate this situation and charge all of the people. We stand here for this brother today, but we stood here months ago for Darrell Jackson and so many countless names who have died at the hands of a jailer, has died at the hands of a corrupt system. A system that from the top of the bottom Every time they kill somebody, there's another report that follows from the medical examiner saying that they died from some type of overdose, they died from something. No, they died from oppression being on their necks. That's what they died from. They died because a system does not look at them as a human. A system looks at someone perpetrating a crime against them and nobody intervenes, nobody says nothing, and yet at the end of the day, every individual that works in Tarrant County know you can get away with murder.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
That's why we are all out here today, to say enough is enough. We don't want to bury another person's child. We do not want to have to comfort another parent because of a death in a jail. In a jail. If you do not know how to handle or interact with our people, go home.
Right. Right.
Sheriff, if you do not know how to do your job, resign.
Right.
And I don't like to speak for everybody, but I call and I echo the words of Pastor Bell in calling for the full resignation of the Tarrant County Sheriff and anybody who cannot do their job. Thank you.
It's a crying shame that we have to stand up here today and still beg for Anthony Johnson's humanity to be recognized.
Right.
After he was killed by the Tarrant County jail staff, by the complicit Tarrant County government that has failed to act. Sheriff Wayburn, we demand that you release all of the video related to Anthony Johnson's killing in your jail and hold everyone who is complicit in his death accountable now. And if that includes you, you must resign. Sadly, we're not just demanding accountability for Anthony today. We're demanding that the humanity of the thousands of people in that jail right now be recognized and respected to the utmost. They are human beings and they deserve to be treated as such. That is not what has been happening at Tarrant County Jail under Sheriff Bill Wayborn. He has turned that jail into a literal house of horrors. 65 people have perished on his watch. In less than 8 years. That's 3 times the national average for jail deaths for a county of this size. That's double the amount of people dead in half the time as the previous sheriff. This is not normal, and this is unacceptable, and we are not taking it anymore. Going to the county jail should not be a death sentence. Particularly since upwards of 70% of the people in the jail are legally innocent and only being detained because they are too poor to pay their bail. This is unconstitutional. This is torture, and this must end today. Anthony's killing and mistreatment did not happen in a vacuum. This has been going on for years. People not getting their medications in the jail, people being beaten by jail staff, people being sexually assaulted by jail staff, people literally being neglected and left to die by Tarrant County jail staff. Oh yeah, and the mentally ill and intellectually, developmentally disabled who shouldn't even be in the jail continue to be criminalized and warehoused there, while MHMR and JPS Mental Health pat themselves on their backs and point fingers at the criminal legal system when they are actually failing our community miserably. They are 100% complicit when people like Anthony Johnson, Kelly Maston, Chastity Congius, Gabe Pinion, Ashley Harris, or Kyrie Campbell fall through the cracks and end up in jail rather than getting the level of care that they need in community. The jail is not a mental health care facility. I don't care what they told you. But that's how MHMR and JPS treat it. And they should be ashamed of themselves with all of the taxpayer dollars that we give them to do their jobs. Where is the money going? Why are patients of MHMR and those who have been denied service at JPS Mental Health routinely ending up dead in Tarrant County Jail? We need answers and we need change today. Wake up. All of this is par for the course in Tarrant County, and the city police agencies are no better. They just keep shuffling people in here into the jail when they have full discretion to do otherwise in a majority of the cases. Anthony Johnson was a patient of MHMR, and he told the Saginaw Police Department that he was schizophrenic when they arrested him. He should have never been brought to the jail. Kyrie Campbell, who is 8 years old, developmentally schizophrenic, autistic, and intellectually developmentally disabled, is currently languishing in the Tarrant County Jail right now. He should have never been brought here, and he should not be here right now. He should be in the community getting the proper level of care that he needs. But instead, he's being criminalized like so many others. But they don't care. The police don't care. MHMR doesn't care. JPS Mental Health doesn't care. Tarrant County government doesn't care, save Commissioner Simmons. The sheriff doesn't care. And the jail staff damn sure doesn't care. Because if any of them did, they would not stand by and allow any of this to keep happening. My name is Pamela Young, PAMELA YOUNG, Executive Director of United Fort Worth.
Thank you.
What you've heard is just a bit to let you know and to remind us, and not only that, but to call our attention, not just in times like these, because this is ongoing. The evidence is incontrovertible that Sheriff Wayborn and the District Attorney's Office and all of those who are supposed to comprise the criminal justice system, they just don't give a damn. That's just the bottom line. But we do. And that's why we're here. And we're here because of the fact that it's extremely important that they listen. That arrogance, as Pam has shared and as Minister Dominique Alexander has shared, their arrogance is unbelievable. We question even their humanity. What creates an environment where it's okay to kill someone and no one intervenes? Somebody knew they could get away with that. Somebody felt that they could, and we're saying this must end. This cannot be a comma. This must be a period. We're going to take questions if you have any.
Have you talked to the families? Have you spoken to the family?
We've spoken briefly. There are many people who have spoken briefly with this family. We've spoken to their lawyer, their PR strategist about how they're feeling. But yet, what you see is so many different people who are We've been through this so many times.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you, one of the worst things I hate is having to go in a room with a family and tell them the same thing that I had to tell the last family, right? In a system that has made it very hard for us to hold the people who are perpetrating these crimes against these individuals, made it very hard for us, and even impossible for us to hold them accountable. So right now, we just ask that everyone in this community just wrap them up with prayer, but also wrap the families of the other victims up in prayer, because once they see another person die in Tarrant County, it literally reprocessed the whole mourning period for them seeing another person has died at the hands of another Tarrant County jailer.
Nick, any other questions?
And when you call for the release of the full video, do you mean you want to see the rest of it after it ended and what they showed us yesterday? You want to see what happened after that?
We want to see the entire video, but if something happened before that, we want to see that as well. It's concerning that they would only give us a snippet of what happened, and with the kind of record that this sheriff's office has, and that this entire system has, and I'm talking about the district attorney as well, it's questionable. No, they don't have the public's trust, and so we need to see what they left out, because unfortunately it seems as though it might be worse than what we did see.
Right.
And I wanted to ask
I want
you
to
too.
speak to that.
Go ahead.
Thank you. So it's been almost a month that the community has been asking for this video. And they've only released it after the family got in the news media and demanded it. It was out the next day. And then when they did that, they gave us a chopped and screwed version, edited, a snippet. We want all of the video.
Right.
All of it.
If you're withholding this video for a month, what were you trying to hide?
Right.
And now after a month, you still haven't given us all of the footage.
Right.
What are you trying to hide? We want to see it all.
Right.
And considering cases like Robert Miller, Corey Rodriguez, cases where there are still so many questions, do you have faith that Tarrant County can handle this appropriately?
No, that's why we're here. That's why we're here, to demand that they handle it appropriately. And if they can't, we need reinforcements to come in from the federal government.
Can you please react to the sheriff terminating or firing these two individuals, or announcing that on yesterday?
Same explanation for him releasing a chopped and screwed version of the video. Doing stuff to appease and silence the community who's calling out. Not only was the family calling for that video to be released, but so was the community.
Right.
They were pummeling the sheriff's office phone with calls, demanding the release of that footage. And then the next day we get 2 people fired and an edited 5-minute video. No, we want it all. We want all the footage. And we want everyone who is complicit in this killing to be held accountable, including the sheriff.
We want to be surprised. We're willing to be surprised. There seems to be, you've heard about the complicity. They seem to be working hand in glove, the sheriff's department and the district attorney's office, in the mishandling of these deaths. We are aware of what District Attorney Soros has done and has failed to do. And so, do we expect it? We expect them to do their jobs, and we expected it prior to this moment, but they haven't done it. And so they failed. The entire system has failed, and we could really, speaking personally, I expect them to continue to just put up as much smoke screen as possible.
Yep.
that'll be par for the course for them. Question.
About mental health and with law enforcement dealing with those who might have or mental health challenges. What would you like to see happen when it comes to dealing with inmates who may have a mental health issue or challenge?
When people are dealing with mental health challenges, if they have a serious mental illness, or if they have an intellectual developmental disability, those are all different things, by the way. They should not be inmates in the Tarrant County Jail. They should be patients in the proper facility so that they can get the level of care that they need. But that's not happening right now. Again, police agencies, Fort Worth Police Agency being the chief of them. It's the largest city of the 41 cities in Tarrant County. And it is the largest purveyor of bringing people to the Tarrant County Jail. And thereby the largest purveyor of bringing people who are mentally ill and developmentally disabled to the Tarrant County Jail. The people that I named are just a tip of the iceberg. Kelly Maston languished in that jail for days and was then put in an induced coma because of the way that she was handled. It's not right, and it starts with the police.
Right.
They should not be bringing people here who don't belong here. But then when they get here, the sheriff has the discretion and the ability to say, nope, not on my watch, and tell them you can't bring them here. The DA has that same discretion as well to not file the damn charges against someone who is a 3-year-old.
That's right.
The diversion center is not it. We have a diversion center, but it can only house people who qualify to go there. And there's a very small number of people who qualify to go there, and that is intentional.
Can I ask Dominic, if you can just summarize for us, what's your reaction to watching that video yesterday as it was released?
Be quite honest with you, I didn't watch the video. I didn't want to. I could have watched it when I came here before. I'm sick of it. I took the facts of so many different people that was Dog and Pony Show. I took the comments from the attorney saying that what they saw was totally different from what they put out from y'all. I don't need to watch a video. I've been watching 12, 15 years worth of videos, you know what I mean? All I need to hear was the attorney sit there and say, man, I think this is probably one of the worst case I've had. And now this family attorney is a well-respected attorney, has been doing this for years. Daryl Washington, you know what I mean, has had several cases. So for Daryl Washington to tell us that this is probably one of the worst, you know what I mean? I know a couple of cases that's worse for Daryl Washington. So at the end of the day, because we have to stand here, I've been very cognizant of making sure that all of our mental health, as activists, organizers, and all that, because we have to go from case to case to case to case, right? And of course, we know we fight a system that does not know how to handle someone when they're going through a mental breakdown, right? We live in America, we live in Texas, we live in a Tarrant County, a Dallas County, where yet mental health is looked at a criminal act versus a healthcare act, right? And so the providers that should be ahead of making sure that Tarrant County has the medical support that is needed, this should be a JPS, not a Tarrant County jail situation, right? And so the reality is that we, as organizers and different people, we have to start rethinking our whole process of how we look at mental health in America. I can literally leave here and something devastating happen to me and I have a mental breakdown. Is that a criminal act, or is that just something that is the derivative of life? We don't know what anybody, all of us, no one standing here is above reproach
Right.
to a mental breakdown.
Right. Right.
I'm a month and a half away of losing my son to gun violence.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for my family in the days that I needed to get away from the public, would I been in jail because I was acting out of emotions to the death and the grief of my son? We have to rethink that. No one's above reproach of a mental breakdown.
Any other questions? Thank you.